I think it's important that we start noting that the mindset of the consumer is definitely changing. I know I can see it based on phone calls. We can see it in the marketplace. People are becoming more accepting of what's happening with the market. I think the sticker shock of post-COVID, that huge rise in rates, prices, et cetera, is sort of settling down. And one thing that I saw recently that validates that is Zillow did a survey in the fourth quarter of 2023 in which it tested people's willingness to sell homes and kind of the temperature there. And what came out of that was almost 30% rise year over year in someone's willingness to sell their property, which is a pretty huge increase. The other thing that I actually thought was more interesting was the willingness to sell between consumers right now that have a below 5% interest rate or an above 5% interest rate on their current home is about equal. So that sort of is further proof that we're accepting where we're at in the market, and I think that's going to start driving more decisions as we move forward. Another thing that came up today that I thought I would share with you guys is I had a phone call with an agent this morning that specifically asked me, Stuart, is Bison good at condos? And I know what she meant, and I could tell that came from a place of pain because it typically does when someone asks a question like that. And sure enough, they had a deal go south a couple days before closing because the condo check process, which we call the condo warrantability process, and that piece happened too late in the process. It's time consuming in a lot of cases for lenders to go through that process because we're chasing someone in an HOA that may or may not be responsive. So that's why we developed a condo desk where we have employees that specialize in this process because we know how important it is. One of the biggest snake bites I've ever seen in my career when it comes to condos is just because it looks, feels, and smells like it's not a condo doesn't mean it's not a condo, right? There's a lot of cases where something comes to us as a townhome, and then once we check the legal on it, it's actually a condo, and then everybody gets surprised. And this is an important topic because I can sense it's bubbling up because typically speaking, condos have lower prices, right? So in a high price environment where affordability is getting squeezed, more and more people are looking at condos. So it's really important just to be aware of it. And I would say as an agent, if you have any takeaway from this video, I would say just remember the glaring word condo. And if you ever think something might be a condo or a client might be looking at a condo, give us a call so we can walk everybody through it in a way that's educational so we all understand what the expectations are. And again, this is not meant to be doom and gloom. Condos are great. It's just a matter of making sure everyone understands what that process is. And look, I get it. Condos isn't exactly the most exciting topic for you to listen to or for me to talk about, but it is important. And I would say that we're going to see more of them. And it never ceases to amaze me when I go speak to agents or talk to people about condos or we do a condo class and go through this stuff. I feel like 80% of the people in the room aren't aware of most of the things we're talking about. And that's not anybody's fault, but the fact that my industry is not great about explaining it.